Now onto some other weird stuff. So Dustin Poirier put up a tweet. I think it was in response to Conor making a prediction for the fight or something. And he said, at the Notorious MMA, you also predicted a donation to my foundation and you and your team stopped responding after the fight in January. See you soon. July 10th, paid in full. Then Conor responded and said, a donation, not a debt. We've been waiting plans for the money that never came. I do it with all my donations, know where it's going dot for dot, otherwise it goes walking. And that's the case with a lot of these foundations. Sadly, you took the McGregor over the belt, shows I was right. I'm not sure what he means by the last bit, but essentially what I take from what Conor is saying is that he wants plans on where the money's going to go, that he's going to donate to Poirier. Of course, he said that before the fight, that he was going to donate 500k, and he hasn't got that yet. So he wants to make sure that Poirier isn't pocketing it for himself or something. I don't quite get it. Can I go first, actually?
Yeah, go for it.
That's not how this works, right?
Yeah.
That's not how donate... Like, I mean, if you donate to anywhere, you never really get a line for line breakdown of where your money's going to go. That's the first thing. And, I mean, if the second thing is, if Conor wanted that, should he have maybe sorted that out before he came out and said that he's going to donate this money? I mean... Right now, to be honest, it's looking like Conor was doing some kind of PR publicity stunt before the fight. I hope that's not true. I just think that response is very strange because that's not really how donating to somewhere works, right? Am I wrong about that?
No, I totally agree. I mean, the whole thing is a little bit distasteful, to be honest. Especially if you're playing out on Twitter. It's not what you want to see. Conor probably dug his own hole in saying flat out before the fight that he was going to donate 500k.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted those assurances, reach out privately to Dustin and say, look, what do you want to do with this money? I know Dustin has talked about building a gym in Louisiana.
But didn't Conor say that? Or I recall Conor saying in an interview that I'm going to donate this money, Dustin's building a gym, and it was all going towards that. So is that not enough?
I agree with you here. I think that's, I mean, if you donate to the Irish Cancer Society, you don't ring up and say, here, I'm donating 20 quid, what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
It does look a bit stinky from Conor's end now, I have to say. I don't like, I mean, we don't really know who's telling the truth. Audie Tal waded in as well, but...
What did he say?
He said, his comment was weird, actually. So he said, why are you playing this? Basically, why are you playing this out on Twitter? We were there. We stood, I think it's quote for quote, we stood by while you asked the UFC for more money. Do you want a medal for that or something? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, and to McGregor's last point there about you took the McG over the belt. Well, he took the money over the belt. Yeah, that doesn't prove that he's taken money from his foundation. They're not comparable. I mean, look, I think this one reflects very badly on Conor McGregor. I mean, if you're insinuating that Dustin's taking money from his own foundation,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, and I understand, like, if you don't know where you're donating money to, for example, like, I do understand a little bit, some checks and balances, some due diligence, of course. But do you really think that Dustin's not using the money for the Good Fight Foundation? Did you not check this before? Has there been some reports that there was some wrongdoing in the charity? It's all very strange, and I think some people are saying, Dustin shouldn't have come out with this in public, and to an extent, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, he has said that he's asked for this numerous times. He's getting no response at all. So at what point do you go out in public? And I know, again, it's a charity donation, so do you just let it go? I don't know. It's going to come out eventually anyway. It's all been handled pretty badly anyway.
I think Dustin has pretty much let it go. I mean, if Conor wanted these assurances, he could say, right, well, I'll give you 100 grand. If this is to build a gym, I'll give you 100 grand once we get to this stage, and then I'll release X amounts at X points in time when there's whatever. I mean, I think it doesn't reflect well on Conor, this one. No, it's not great that it's playing out on Twitter, but yeah.
No. And, amazing gesture when we saw it originally. Yeah. And it's just a shame that it's come to this. Hopefully they can get it sorted out, because at the end of the day, the main thing is that this money does actually get donated, because it's going to a very good cause. The stuff that Dustin Poirier is doing with that foundation is phenomenal.
And I mean, Conor has donated chunky amounts to, like, say, the first responders and stuff in America. Like, has he I'd be skeptical as to whether he has, say, rang up. I don't know what the name of the charities are, but does he ring up the first responders and say, right, well, I want documentation
I
of what my
wonder.
money's going to do here? I'd be skeptical as to whether that's the case.
Yeah, I'd be skeptical too. Yeah, I mean, you could spend all day kind of thinking about that
And it's a
subject,
pointless
but it is.
debate,
Yeah,
like.
it's just it's a bad look. Right now, it looked like Conor was running some kind of PR campaign, if I'm honest, and it's not a good
Yeah.
look. So we just finished the podcast, and Sean texted me and said, "Did you see Conor McGregor's tweets?" So he's off on Twitter saying shit again, and we have to address it in this podcast, or this will age like milk very quickly. So Conor went on to Twitter and said, "You're ripped, you inbred hillbilly. Why do you wink with your ears, you fucking brain dead hillbilly? 50k with no plan in place. You hang tight, fool. You must be new to money. The fight is off, by the way. I'm going to fight someone else on the 10th. Good luck on your old contract, kid." And then he said, "It's Mardi Gras, bitches. Get your tits out for it." What's going on, Sean, with Conor McGregor? And do you believe that this fight is off?
Look, I mean, the default starting position with Conor would be to take it with a pinch of salt, and I mean a strong pinch of salt. You can't really believe a whole pile he says. It looks like he is at least on the drink there.
Yeah.
I'd say he's had a few beers. I'd say he's enjoying himself. It's not very good English. Never mind the insults. It doesn't look very good there. Do I think the fight's off? I'd be surprised if it was off. I mean, I think the contracts are signed from what Ariel and stuff has said. So yeah, I'd be surprised if it was off. I don't know what you think. This is essentially a live reaction.
Exactly, it's a live reaction. This was literally 20 minutes ago, and 14 minutes ago these two tweets. I don't think the fight will be off, but I mean, you never know with Conor. You really don't. But yeah, my gut reaction is no, it's not off. But I mean, we're gonna have to follow Conor's mostly probably intoxicated tweets for the next probably a couple of hours. But yeah, I would say the fight isn't off right now, but what can you say? But yeah, I think if he's clearly not training right now anyway, I'll put it that way. But yeah, that's
I'd be quite happy to take 11-10 about Dustin Poirier there at the minute.
Yeah, keep track of those odds and see if they start moving, because I think they might.